So if you guys have seen on my Instagram, there's a red Focus that was wide bodied and everything. Well, the same guy has a R33 now, and he got it with a little bit of damage up here. So I went ahead and wet sanded all this, and I'm just gonna tape this line off right here and respray the roof, as well as you can see the bumper is off. Get a little shot of the stock engine bay. She a little dirty, but he hasn't had it long. So we've got a GTR bumper, from what I understand. We got the little grill here. I've already taken the mesh out, and then unfortunately it's fiberglass, so we've got some definitely got some things that need to be filled and addressed. So I'm getting ready to go ahead and prime this to kind of get a good basis of see what I need to do as far as body work goes. But I just wanted to show you guys this thing. It's pretty sweet. It's packed in the shop right now, but on some work VSKFs, right hand drive, it's pretty sweet. And hit these with primer. So what I did with these, or with this grill piece, it was like no body work really needed, so I just wet sanded it with 400 grit, and I hit it with the high build CP 440 primer, and I'm just gonna probably wet sand that with 400 again and get it flat, and it'll be ready for paint. And as you guys can see, this stuff's pretty high build. This was way worse right here, and then there's like a lot of spots that you can still see, but they were a lot worse when they were just bare fiberglass. So I went ahead and built that up a little bit, and this will just kind of show me a lot more where all my troubled areas are, and then I'll go back and do some body work on them. But that's where we're at for that. So once I'm sanding and getting all the body work going, I'll update you guys with all the prep stuff and everything. But just wanted to show, we got the car plastic off, went ahead and taped off the roof and everything. As you can see, that spot in the roof's looking pretty smooth. I still have to clean it before I paint it, but just wanted to show that real quick. Probably time lapse me spraying it. So I finished clearing it, and I went to lunch and came back and just untaped it. And this is just fresh out of the gun. Super, super slick. This is definitely like one of the paint jobs I've laid down. It helps a lot when it's just a flat surface, but I'm gonna have to go through right here. You can see the break point. I'm gonna have to wet sand that a little bit and smooth it out. But other than that, just very slick, and I'm pretty excited with how it turned out. So I'm just gonna have to let that cure for a while because I wanna make sure that the clear is nice and hard before I go wet sanding on it, and it'll clean up really nice. So pretty stoked. Show you guys a couple bodywork spots here. Can't really tell a lot. There's some fiberglass body filler right there, some inside there, and there's another spot that you can't really see, but you guys can tell there's like a little bit of a texture here and there with this bumper. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use guide coat right here. I'm going to use 220 grit and block all these flat, and it'll kind of highlight the low spots. That way I can see where I need to fill at, or maybe even just block them out, which this is unfortunately something that happens when you're dealing with fiberglass. The molds are pretty boogery and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna guide coat like the whole bumper and then sand it and see if I can get most of these low spots out. You guys can tell all those dark spots are where all the lows are. So that paint just kind of highlights it and tells me where I need to sand or where I need to fill at. I'm not trying to be super boring. I just want to show you what it takes to get a bumper like this looking decent. Look how many dimples and low spots there is to start with. This is wet 4, and we have all of those in this. You can see the lighter area from like here to here, and look how many lows there still is. This is what it should look like. There's still a couple little spots here and there, but it should be all gray. That's why we use the guide coat, because it shows all your bad spots, and it sucks because of how much you have to do to make these things straight. As you guys can see, I had to do a little bit of body work here and there, but this thing is looking a lot better than it did. So I'm gonna hit it one more time with this hypo primer, and then I'll be sanding it in 400 and we'll be ready to paint. Should be super smooth after that. Like I said, I still have to go back and wet sand this in 400 before it's ready, because that primer tends to sag a little bit, but it's looking way better. So she'll be ready for paint here real soon. On to the wet sand process. pretty good. I'm pretty stoked with how that came out, especially with how rough that bumper was in the first place. Here's the grill piece, looking pretty smooth as well. So I'll probably go ahead and deliver these maybe tomorrow or the next day, and I'll get a shot of them once they're back on the car again. As you guys can see, I got the bumper delivered. Haven't got it mounted yet. I've got to do a little bit of wet sanding. Had a couple runs in the clear coat, but I'd say it looks pretty good. Looks like it matches alright. It's kind of hard to tell in the garage here. Another look at the roof since it's been curing. Looking pretty darn good. Another view of it with the hood closed. Pretty sure this old paint's single stage, and for this new stuff being base clear, looks like it actually matches pretty well. Maybe a little bit darker, but not too bad. And it'll probably be a little different out in the sun. But of course, as I'm editing this, I realized that I didn't do an outro. I was planning on doing two like separate videos into one. And then I realized that I was just going to make them separate in the time. I have filmed these a while ago. So here very soon you'll see a video of me ceramic coating and, or buffing and ceramic coating that R33. I just wanted to end this video, or actually outro this video. So stay tuned for that. Turned out really good. I'm excited for you guys to see it.